All right, everyone. Welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for August 3rd through the 5th of 2018. All right, so this weekend we have the moon shifting signs. The moon will be in Pisces on Friday. So as has been the case most of this week, Friday is a great time for getting in touch with that spiritual dimension of life and of ourselves. And then as we get into Saturday, the moon does shift into active Aries. So likely noticing some themes around taking initiative, maybe our independence, these types of matters. Also the theme on Sunday with Aries, and then in the later part of Sunday, going into Monday, a bit of Taurus. Moon shifting into Taurus suggests themes around cultivating our inner and outer resources, which could be inner security and also outer security, such as enjoying the simple life and material security. So other than that, all we have this weekend is Mars sextiling up to Chiron. So as a backdrop, very minor, maybe healing some confidence, taking some action and initiative in the face of any inhibitions can actually be quite healing this weekend. All right, so let's look at all of this here in more detail when we return. All right, so here's the sky for Friday. The moon will be finishing up Pisces, then shifting into Aries here for Saturday. And then as we get into Sunday, finishing Aries and going into Taurus. So let's go ahead and start with Friday, the theme, which was the case most of this week, around Pisces. Finishing up this energy on Friday. So getting in touch with, again, that spiritual dimension or deeper dimension of life, of our unconscious, listening to our intuition, seeing what arises that we can accept. And it's ultimately through that acceptance of what is that does lead to greater peace and tranquility. And usually when a planet finishes a constellation like this, there is some sort of completion or cultivation of that. So in this case, it could be greater peace and acceptance and trust in our lives on that spiritual dimension. So that does complete a zodiac cycle as well, because once we get into Saturday, we will then go into very different energy, which will likely notice themes around independence, matters pertaining to needing to take initiative, perhaps, action, drive, motivations, things of this nature, likely the theme, and great to cultivate a bit of this active energy or independent energy, since this is our emotional body with the moon here. So that's likely the shift Friday through Saturday. During those 2 days, we're also going to notice Mars likely sextiling Chiron. Now, this is a very minor aspect because sextiles are quite minor by themselves, plus Chiron is simply a comet. So on this level, though, noticing if there is any openings these 2 days, Friday, Saturday, to heal any of that confidence. If there's any inhibitions that come up or wounds that come up, that by taking some of that action with Mars, or pursuing things, or cultivating more of that independence in our life, this can be very healing and rejuvenating. So I think setting the intention is great, and just being aware of any openings to do that kind of stuff. Friday and Saturday can be, again, sort of rejuvenating and healing with this sextile up to Chiron. So that's the most important aspect this week, or on this weekend, these kind of 2 days here. We are going to be easing up off of that Mars square up to Uranus we had earlier in the week. So if you did feel any tension, personally or collectively, that energy is lifting off. And there is greater, I think, awareness of what we can cultivate regarding change in our life, regarding more freedom. So maybe a good weekend for implementing some of this constructive change or constructive development that leads to freedom in our life, easing up off of that square. And we are going to be in the third quarter moon of this lunar cycle. So a week ago, we did have that lunar eclipse, and that was a releasing time, especially last weekend. So a lot has been cleared since then. A lot of awareness has likely come in since then. So the third quarter moon is about challenging ourselves to move that energy forward. All right, so anything we can do, again, great with this Aries energy, great with Mars sextile Chiron, but also this third quarter, right? This willingness to challenge ourselves to cultivate some of these things we've become aware of or some of these transitions we've had since last weekend. All right, and things we can integrate and develop. Really good, because squares are about, again, setting the intention to move things forward and make things happen. So really good weekend for that stuff. All right, so Saturday, the theme, that independence, Aries type of energy. Then as we get into the first part of Sunday, also a bit of that Aries, right? Good for that action, independent stuff. But then as we get into the later part of Sunday and into Monday, probably noticing a bit of a shift into matters pertaining to resources, both cultivating our inner resources, such as self-value, self-reliance, and then outer resources as well. Getting in touch with where we can have more material security in our life, enjoy what we have on a material level, be grateful for what we have, and connect to that, right? And connect to Earth and really get into that slow and steady grounded energy of Taurus. All right, so that's the weekend in a nutshell. Hope you all have a fantastic weekend. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you all Monday for the daily forecast. Take care.